This is Jerome McQueen of Academics, the national movement to encourage our young people to choose STEM as career aspiration.
I had a really great biology teacher. She was like nationally recognized. She got to meet President Obama.
So this year I'm working with 3D printing, actually being able to use my skills from A&T to design things on the computer and actually see them become a physical part.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Whoa, we're live. We're live.
Full effect, live and in full effect.
We're live. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our program today. And boy, are we excited to let you know what we have in the community, what kind of talent that's out there. And of course, this is Women's History Month, right? March. So that's the theme that we're gonna use today, and there's a lot to talk about, to tell you about. Anyway, so I'm your host, Ed McQueen, of course. This is April Garner, co-host. And April, we were talking with our guest earlier, and that coinciding with the promotion that was sent out. I got a couple of emails back that says, wow, awesome. Now, those three photos, I wonder if it was the narrative or those three photos that look like the Supremes or you know what I mean? But when we finish today, you're going to say they're the Dupremes because they do a lot.
Oh, I like that, Brother Edward. I see what you did there. I like that. The Dupremes. The Dupremes. I like
a lot. And when you hear what they all are doing, I mean, and continuing to do it, we're kind of proud of that. We need to highlight that. So, but anyway, April, I'll let you kick them off and you do your thing with that, okay? This is Women's History Month.
Yes, it is. It's Women's History Month. It's the last Tuesday of Women's History Month. So we definitely want to highlight some leading women in business, women who are moving and shaking things in our communities, and just more importantly, making an impact in what they do. And so we have three very special guests tonight that we have invited to be with us to explain some of the initiatives that they have going on with their organizations. We have Janet Keith Thompson, who is with the Mamie, Keith, and Alene Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. We have Kim Clora, who is with the Jacqueline Rodgers Foundation, Incorporated, and President Alston Staley of the Whittemore Alumni Association. And what's so great about this is that they are all doing something different in the community, right? Because you always see people starting organizations and new initiatives, and sometimes there's a lot of duplication, right? You know, and I know that, there's a lot of pie to slice up. There definitely is a lot to go around. But, when you have organizations that are doing really unique things, I think it's a grand opportunity for us to make sure that we're tapping into many different areas of just life in general that we can impact in terms of the people in society who need the things that we are providing. So we're going to hear some education about breast cancer awareness and what the foundation, the Jacqueline Rodgers Foundation, does. We're going to hear about initiatives to support the youth as far as college and career readiness. And even more, we're going to hear about the initiatives to support the youth as they're trying to go to college to get ready for their career steps. And so, what we're going to find is that each of these individuals are just doing something that's amazing and dynamic, and they're impacting the community in big ways. So we're going to start with Janet Keith Thompson. How are you, Janet?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
All right. So which one of the Supremes are you? That's the question of the day, Brother Edward. Which one are you?
The Duprees. I'm gonna have to take Diana Ross. Really.
Oh, you took Diana Ross. You took Diana Ross. Okay, go ahead, Diana. That is awesome. Well, Janet, welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. And Janet does a lot of things in the community, and I think that's what you can do when you're retired. You have more time to commit to things in the community, and she certainly
Some people,
right?
anyway, yeah.
Some people. And she certainly is pouring herself into her community. Not only is she serving on various boards in Horry County for other organizations, usually they're service organizations, nonprofit organizations, but she has her own 501c3 nonprofit organization, the Mamie Keith and Alene Bradley Foundation, Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. So, Janet, you want to, say anything else to the audience about who you are and why you started the organization before we get into what you have going on this weekend?
Yes, I would love to. Well, I'm not Diana. I am the daughter of Mamie and George Keith. I'm a native of Conway, grew up and raised here. And I worked at Horry Georgetown Tech and Higher Ed in a TRIO program similar to what the 501c3 that I co-founded offers. So working with kids, getting them to think about college, if not college, decide what type of career you may be interested in, because everybody don't go to college. It's not for everyone, but everybody has to make a job. Then you make a living. So I focus on not just talking to them about college readiness, but career readiness as well. And so that's why I'm here this afternoon to talk about our Boss Career Day this Saturday, April 1st. And we're going to have folks to come out. Participants going to be the Nixon School of Masonry, Miss You Mobile Gaming. We're going to have Sylvia Ellaby, who is a realtor. Sylvia's going to not only talk about real estate, but she's going to also talk about young entrepreneurship, because there are a lot of young people that's getting in or developing their own businesses under the age of 20. So she's going to share some information about that. We're also going to have the Dreamer Apparel, and I believe they are into printing, silk screening, things of that nature, T-shirts, any type of promotional products, items that you might be interested in. We're going to have Arthur, South Carolina, occupational therapist. She's going to be presenting, and the TCJ Transportation. Going to be out. So he's going to talk about the trucking business. So it's going to be Saturday, April 1st at the Smith Jones Recreation Center, which is off of Highway 378. For those of you that's not familiar with Smith Jones Recreation Center, if you Google Smith Jones Recreation Center, it will bring you to Smith Jones Street off of 378. So I did Google it to see if it would direct people in, and it will. So just Google Smith Jones Recreation Center, and it will come up a map through MapQuest, and just follow the map, and it'll lead you straight down 378. So we're going to check out business owners. We're going to have career professionals. We'll learn about high demand in different fields. We're going to follow how to start your own business, and we're going to sign up. Hopefully, we will sign up for Educate Our Youth programs and events. I think it's a great idea. It's another form of helping the students to sort of visualize what they could do if they decide not to go to college, or if they decide to go to college. All these things I just named, there is a curriculum for. So so you can decide, and hopefully parents will be with their kids so that they can get some of this information as well, and encourage the students to proceed to either go to college or develop a career. And if any of these people that's presenting, if you don't like any of these things, there's so many other things that you can do. There's so many other things you can do. So it's going to be free food also. So come out, hang out with us, get to meet us. We'll have a few little giveaways for you, for the students. So I think the weather's going to be good. So, and we're under the shelter, the Jesse O shelter. So we will be protected from the rain, but I don't believe rain is in the forecast. And if it is, it'll be later in the afternoon. So we're there from 11 until 2 o'clock. So we're not disturbing your morning breakfast. And you'll be free just in time to go hang out and do some other things in the afternoon. So that's what we're doing April 1st, this Saturday.
All right. So, Janet, this is actually your second major event that is geared towards college and career readiness. You recently had a college day at the Housing Authority in Conway, correct?
Yes, we did. We partnered with the Housing Authority, and it was good. It could have been better, of course. Anything can always be better. But I was proud of the students that did come out, and we gave away a Chromebook, and little Miss Micaiah. Am I pronouncing it right?
Was it
Michaela Floyd?
Michaela
Floyd. Okay.
Was a recipient of the Chromebook. Michaela is Jasmine and Jamal Floyd's daughter.
One of their brilliant daughters. Exactly.
Yeah. One of their brilliant daughters.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think it's wonderful, and of course, I have been, closely involved with Janet's efforts over these past few years since she decided that she wanted to launch a nonprofit. Running a nonprofit is not easy. It's not easy at all. And you're hanging in there, and you actually survived during COVID. And so why don't you explain to everyone, what you did during COVID? And I'm sure that we'll return to that really soon, but you're just working on some initiatives to get out into the community now. But, talk about that, because we showed the promo at the beginning.
Right. Well, thanks to you, April is on my board, and she's my ride or die. She's been very, very helpful these past 3 years. And we started out when COVID came, we started with a parent meeting, and we had a few other things, ACT, SAT workshops, and then COVID hit. So that's just stopped all the, the meeting. And what we did, I started reaching out to different colleges and universities and asking them to come on. And so we would do college and universities on Tuesdays to talk about the admission process to all the schools and what financial aid, dormitories, things of that nature that the kids had questions about. And we had several colleges, beginning from Morehouse to Bethune-Cookman to FAMU, North Carolina A&T. I believe we had North Carolina Central. Yeah, Elizabeth City, South Carolina State, Winthrop. So we had several counselors to visit us on that broadcast, and we reached we had a pretty good audience of watching and learning about the process of entering college after high school. And I do plan to get back to that. It won't be every week, but it will be, twice a month at least. Reaching out to the schools, because the students can't get to the schools. It's not all students can, because there's a cost to travel, and depends on how far the school is, depending on whether you need overnight stays or what have you. Right. So I thought, going online and broadcasting it was a good way of allowing the students to see the campus, to listen to the counselors, and to see how college function.
And it was definitely very successful. And she just gave you a very small cross section of colleges. I mean, you got to think about it. Over 2 years, there's so many colleges that were coming on. And so the great thing about it, though, is that Educate Our Youth does have a YouTube channel. So you can go to the website, educateouryouth.info, and tap into the YouTube channel, and you can see some of the admissions counselors and other persons who visited from the various schools. And also you had a couple of guests on to talk about financial literacy and other topics, so great resource for the youth, Brother Edward. And, I think it's great that you're able to now get out into the community and do that hands-on outreach, because that's really, really important. And so once again, you're going to be at Smith Jones on Saturday from 11 to 2. 11 to 2. It's like Smith Jones on Highway 378. And come out. We're going to have a good crowd of participants from different walks of life. And you can pick up a hot dog and some other little goodies. All right. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys. And if you have any questions about it, or if anybody needs the directions, you can call me at 843-465-7456. Or you can visit my email me at janet.thompson@educateouryouth.info. Absolutely. Well, Janet, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really do appreciate it. And, we'll continue to support as much as possible. And we hope that you have a wonderful event on Saturday. Well, thank you. I appreciate being here helping me get the word out, and have a good program. All right. Thank you. Night. Thank you, Janet. Good night. All right. So, Brother Ed, what do you think about that? Educate our youth. That's a big deal, right? You can't do enough of that. I've been following that. You're right. I was at her last event, which was at the center at the housing authority center.
off of Granger Road, I guess. I don't know the name of it. But
Conway Housing Authority.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But she said it could have been better. But that's what she said. I think it was good. It was good.
For the first effort.
Yeah, really. You know, she didn't mention it, but she had 3 or 4 colleges there. You know, one was Coastal. I think she had Francis Marion, I believe, and one other HBCU. I forgot which one it was, but I think she had about 3 or 4 of them, and that to me that was interesting. It was interesting that the schools were enthused about coming out there. Coming out there, you know, and she gave away a computer.
Yep.
Yeah. And I saw a number of young people that I was impressed with. Anytime you see that, you should be delighted. Okay. So
absolutely, and you know, when she was talking about the challenge, I think the biggest challenge, and we see it across, you know, every organization that has events of this nature, or even events to, you know, raise awareness about their initiatives, it's the community support. You know, sometimes the community support is not there, and you know, that's how the community really misses out on critical information and resources and just offerings that people have for them. The other part is that, you know, everything that she's doing through Educate Our Youth is all about the youth. That's the word, youth, right?
Right.
And so, you know, it's great that other members of the community are coming out, but we need the students to come out, because, you know, these offerings are for them. You know, the college admissions counselors and anyone who's coming to these events, they're coming to really talk to the students, to give them, you know, a snapshot of what it's like to be on their college campuses, what they need to do to get ready for school, and things that they need to think about as they even try to make that college transition, because the college transition is not easy either. And so, you know, parents, any parents who are watching, and please share this information. You know, if there are great programs like this in the area, you know, make sure that even when you come, that you're bringing your youth with you, you bring your student with you, because you want them to experience everything that there is to offer, to ask the counselors the questions that they have, you know, about the student life, about the academics and all of that. But if you can't bring your student, come armed with your own questions that you need to ask these counselors about financial aid, student life, campus safety, which is becoming more and more important now in a lot of things that are going on in our society. And so, you know, when people are having events like this, or organizations are hosting events like this, you know, make sure that you come ready with questions, but also that you're bringing the youth and encouraging them to, you know, bring a carload of young people, you know.
Yeah,
Carlo. They'll have fun walking around and, you know, talking to the colleges together. You never know, they might all end up at the same college, you know. And so I think it's wonderful what she's doing. And
I failed to mention that Allen University was there.
Yeah.
Okay, Allen University was there. Now, for our viewers, in the magazine, which was online and on our website, on page 14, you can see the results of and with photos of the events that took place at this event that we're talking about now, Educate Our Youth. And there are a number of photos there. I'm sure that you'll be familiar with some of the people. But I actually thought that the community supported it. It was great. It's you know, crowds were coming in and leaving. You know, and at some time it appeared as though there was just a few people there. But you know, a cumulative nature, on a cumulative way. I think they added up. Okay. I think they added up. So more power to you, Janet.
Absolutely. And again, for the first effort, that was, you know, definitely awesome. So just want to show her website real quick. EducateOurYouth.info is the website. And again, this is the Mamie Keith and Alene Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. You can go to this website. There's lots of comprehensive information about what this organization is all about, the prep workshops, the college tours, financial aid workshops, the career exploration. You can check the live streams Again, this clicks through to YouTube. Also, it's important to support these nonprofit organizations. So there's a donate button. If you want to give to a good cause that is tax deductible, make sure that you click and donate and support the Educate Our Youth Foundation, mainly because, whenever you support the organization, it actually helps Janet and the other members, the other volunteers, to create some wonderful programs for the students. We want to introduce them to a lot of things in the community, but she also wants the opportunity to take them outside of Horry County to show them some things. So it takes funds, it takes some coins to do that. So if you can support, that would be awesome. And so
absolutely.
I want to say good evening to Betty Goss. Good evening to you, Janet Lawrence Patton, and Miss Carolyn Hickman Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And also, if you will share this broadcast across your pages, that would be great, because we are focusing on leading women who are making an impact in the community. And since we're on the topic of education, Brother Elwood, why don't we go ahead and bring on Miss Annis Alston Staley, Madam President. How are you?
Absolutely.
I knew you was going to say that. I knew you was going to say Madam President.
Madam President. You know, I have to ask the question, which Supreme are you?
Yeah.
I wasn't into them Supremes that well. And after she picked Janet, Diane was like, well, what was the other lady's name?
No, Miss Annis.
Miss Anna was too busy in corporate America.
I was busy. I was really busy. In fact, I did Detroit there for a minute. But it was interesting listening to Janet as to what she's been able to accomplish with the youth. It really,
absolutely. Just
listening to her and her whole center, and she's very committed to this. So I was really happy to. I'm gonna have to get some folks out there Saturday morning.
I was just thinking that.
Don't worry, you
got to get a little table set up out there, because guess what?
Really what this is, really all about is the networking of people, cross-pollination, as to how you learn from each other, the things you pick up. And she's a very dedicated person. The first time I met her, she's into this, and she's gonna make this happen. So I have all kudos to her as to what she's been able to do. But on the Whittemore front, April and I kind of came in. Well, I got into this organization, and we kind of got into this administration kind of together a year ago, and it's been really interesting. And I've really enjoyed I've kind of enjoyed the ride. It's challenging, and I guess that's probably the part that get me going most of all is the challenge of it. And listening to what Janet said about the youth, of getting the youth's attention, and figuring out how to do that. And you have to do a lot of approaches. You just can't take one. You got to take the buckshot rather than just a rifle, because you got to hit all avenues when you're trying to deal with the youth.
We're not talking about guns here. Okay.
So this is not the time to talk about guns, right? But Whittemore is my alma mater, and no matter what I did or where I went, Whittemore was always that central. The things you learned came from Whittemore. I just attended and spoke at Ms. Whaley's funeral, and I didn't realize I had to speak until I got there. And the nephew came over and asked someone that we wanted someone from Whittemore to speak. And it's like, okay. So, but it was easy because that's what Whittemore did for us then. And I've had a chance to go to the Conway School and met with the principal. And we are trying to do an approach of a couple of things. We are working through the churches with the ministers involved. We're working with Tanya, the counselor. She's doing an excellent job.
Tanya Pickett.
Tanya Pickett. She has, we've talked a couple of times since. And then the principal of Conway High. But we are more or less focusing also on all of Horry County, all of the schools, because the descendant are all over now. I mean, we came along, was one Black high school in Horry County, and that was Whittemore. Now I think they have 6 or 7 schools that, we're all over the place, which is good. And we have some really interesting adults coming out that's really going to go places, and we have to help them do that. Our challenge is kind of similar to what Janet said, getting to those adults, because there's so much other things out there in the atmosphere that they prefer doing, they think, that they think is more important than, because their family is going to take care of it. Well, we're in a society of privileged children, and these kids got everything. So they feel as if this college is just going to automatically happen. Because when you talk to them, they're going to college. They don't know how, don't know where, but they're going. So that's our challenge. And when you sit and talk with them, they'll say, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that. So I think the more we can get in, and as people that got a chance from somewhere, I think that will help them say, okay. And for me, working with the Whittemore alum is an interesting group. We work hard and we have a good time. But I think they're beginning to see now, with everything, they're trying to take all of the education away that we were taught. They don't want that in the schools anymore. People are beginning to see that maybe we need to step back and think about this. This is probably a prime time for us to get out and tell our story. And that's really what it's going to take for Whittemore alum, is continue telling their story. Now, one thing of interest, we also have a website, which April has put up. A lot of folks are beginning to go to that website and begin to donate now that doesn't live in Horry County. And they're saying, I can't be there, because in their mind, they think that they have to be at Whittemore in Conway to be a part of it. And you don't. You can really be living anywhere, really in the world, as long as you can get Edward some magazine broadcast to really focus in on Whittemore. And people are beginning to say, oh, I see where I can donate. And the website, I've gotten real good comments on. It's easy. It works real easy. There's no hiccups in it. And so I think I would say to April and Eugene, they've done a dynamite job of putting this together and keeping it simple and keeping it very clean.
Yeah, that's a very informative website.
I am very impressed with this website, and it represents who we are. Now, it took us a minute, but I think our main goal is we're not going to put anything out there that don't represent exactly who we are. So I'm asking a couple of things of the community tonight. The things I'm asking of the community is continue bringing their stories to us and getting them on the website. Whatever your stories might have been from Whittemore, let's tell it and share it on the website, because that's information to the next generations. I'm also going to ask the communities, we have a challenge in front of us to help us with the young folks. We want people that have the time to spend time with our youth. We will arrange everything, but if you have an hour or 2 hours a week, come and spend a little time with us, and all virtual. We're not asking you to really go anywhere. Educators, we really would like for you to come and spend some time with them, because listening to the folks at just Conway, we haven't been to the other school, they're saying that the things they need help in is some of the basics, English, math. That hasn't changed. I mean, they got other names for it. And if we can get the educators to come in and spend a couple of hours a week and get one child and kind of follow that child through, where they may get lost or may get left behind, that would be very helpful. For the other folks that may not be educators, some of us have the ability to still talk with the youth at a different level, because we're not their teacher.
Right.
We're not grading them.
That's a different impact.
Having a conversation with them. that's another group of folks. If we can get, 4 or 5 of those folks that have a couple hours a week just to sit and listen, because a lot of times they want someone just to listen to them. Don't answer the question necessarily, just listen to them. Though that's another group of folks that we will appreciate if you all would find us whatever way, through our website, through someone and just say, I have a couple hours a week and I'd like to, because we're going to try to shepherd those folks all the way into college. Because as we all know, when we went to school, that first semester, you had to sit and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Those grades came in a little bit different. And you said,
yeah.
what is this? Maybe it's time for me to go back home, because it's different. And if you're not prepared for that, you'll find yourself getting them to college. But the question is, will they stay? And then if they stay, will they really get the impact of what college really means? Because college, I'm finding that folks are calling me now, especially if they've gone on to business, and they'll get to things in business, but they have learned what the book says. But when it comes to application of it, they'll call and say, well, Ms. Sanders, I'm trying to figure out where I can find $12,000. I'm getting ready to talk to my boss off my budget. Okay. But it's everyday things that they're not able to deal with. So we have a great group of people in Conway that I'm sure haven't thought about what they can contribute for just a little bit of time. Nothing, but our youth is going to be tomorrow. Our youth is going to be 5 years from now. Someone has to tell the story. We won't be here to tell it. They will. And depending upon the experience that we give them now, that will determine what story they tell. We'll either be taken off the map completely. As a matter of fact, today I learned that they was taking Whittemore Elementary School down today. And there's some other issues with that. As tonight isn't the night, but that's the kind of thing that happens. But if you got the education, no matter what you have, no one can take that from you. That's the piece that we want to help on. The other thing, of course, we're asking for donations. One thing I see, a lot of the alums now are beginning to volunteer and spend their $25 for their dues. And they not only send $25, they will send $100. And they'll say, do 25, but then give the other part, which is really good. All volunteering. They go on the website, they see that donation button. And so it has to be burned in. Am I upset? No, I'm very happy with where we are, because we're building a foundation that when our administration, I say April and I, when we move on, we're going to have someone else to take over and keep the legacy going. And that's the only way, because you can't really run anything by yourself. You really have to educate someone else. So our goal is to pass this on for the next generation. And if we can donate and we can volunteer our time, we'll do that. Now, to talk about our events, the first thing, we're very proud that we are also a 501c3. That was interesting, but we got it done. It was very nice. I was very pleased that we got it. And for the folks that contributed last year, they got their letter of how much they can take off their taxes. They was very excited about that. Something else happened on Sunday. I'm finding individual classes now are calling because they want to donate in the name of their class. This class is going to do Ms. Whaley's, they want to do a Ms. Whaley's Foundation, and they're going to allow us to pick the candidate. They just want to make sure that they're really going after the 501c3. That's really what they wanted. And I thought that was really interesting. So I had a call with them on Sunday. So they're excited. They're going to bring in their monies and work it that way. So I'm saying whatever way that you want to do it, it's fine. But if we can get a benefit out of it, well, why not? But that was an accomplishment, and our members are very excited about it. And it's an easier process to do it that way whenever you're asking folks, because we're going to start going a little bit more corporate now for money rather than just asking people. The one event we've already had one of our meet and greets last year, went very well. And then we're getting ready to do another one, 1st of April, end of April, 1st of May. And we're thinking about Burgess Myrtle Beach, Bucksport, because we want to kind of pull it out of Conway. We'll give you more information on that. And then for our summer event, our fall event, we're looking to do a homecoming tailgate, where we're going to look for the best griller, because everybody feels as if they're the best griller in town. So that sounds like
fish fryer.
And it's low cost. It's not going to be anything of cost. And then last year, we weren't ready for what they used to call the dance. We're changing the name this year. We're going to do a banquet. We are going to go really uptown and we're going to do a banquet. And if you notice, we're having events all during the year. We're not just working for April, May to get the kids money for scholarships.
Yeah. Right.
We have this year, we're pretty good on our scholarships now. And that's a good thing to have that kind of at your back. Yeah. And we're moving right along. And if we can get that kind of spirit moving where you're just having things all year, I think that will help us in our communication and our exposure. Because a lot of folks just looked at it like the dance. Yeah. So those are the 3 things we're going to have this year as events that we will be having during the 2023. Now, I don't know what will happen in 24. We got some structure things we're working on, but it's interesting how folks are coming to the table that just never hardly said anything, and they just taking it and run with it. I'd like to also say to all the folks that's in the audience, you don't have to live in Conway to participate in this. You can live anywhere you live and still participate in this. Not only just donate, but you actually can participate. This internet world has given us this opportunity that we can be anywhere and do anything we need to get done. So for those that would like to be a member of not only just to send your money in and be a member, but to participate in the Alumni Association, we really would appreciate that. Because the more folks we can get together, we got committees that we can put you on and get you to work. And if you all think I'm a taskmaster, think of April. April will email you every night. You remember this, which is fine. Doesn't bother me at all. But you need that. You need that structure. And that's what I'm finding in the committee. We have people with different backgrounds, and it's giving them a chance to bring their expertise to the table. Mm-hmm. So it has really been interesting. I've enjoyed it. I will continue to enjoy it. And I think by the time we get to December for our banquet, I think then that one question that always people would say, what are you all doing? What's happening with the alum? The only thing they ever heard about was the dance. Well, hopefully by the time you get into December, they will know a little bit more than what they've known at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Because we're trying real hard to continue to get our students to a place that they don't understand now. But in time, they'll say that somebody allowed me the chance to make that step. And that's our goal. I don't know what the scholarships will be next year. Hopefully there'll be more. We'll decide that. But our goal is to always come into April, May, June with the dollar amount to our back, and we're looking into the next year. That's our main goal. And right now, we're pretty much there. It's a good feeling whenever you say you got, as my father would say, you got all the hay in the barn. Really good thing to not have to worry and run around and worry about money. We're focusing really on the students and getting them through and helping them with their goals. So I appreciate you all allowing us to get on, but I still ask that the community continue to help build Whittemore up. We're all concerned about taking Whittemore down, but there's so many other things. They're taking a building down.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that
Not the
doesn't-
legacy.
Whittemore.
Mhm.
Not the legacy.
See, and if we show the Conway that y'all took the building down, but y'all didn't take anything from us, I think that, to me, because that's where I'm gonna pull myself into actually getting something done. It's just a building. I know it symbolizes a lot for a lot of folks. The symbol there, but you carry that with you. And for those of us who left Conway, probably will understand what I'm saying. It's a building, but it's what you do when you leave. And for folks that feeling bad about it, don't feel bad. Just put your shoulders to the wheel and let's move forward. To me, that was important to say to the group. And I do appreciate you all coming up, allow me to come on and share a little bit about what we're doing with the young folks over at Whittemore. And to the team, I tell you, we have a team. We have a goal of a 1 hour meeting, and we haven't been able to make that goal.
Have not.
Haven't been able to make that goal.
That sounds like it went to 2 hours to me. That's what it sounds like.
And listen, we really have a good time. And there are a lot of members, a lot of people that are not members, that anytime we call them to volunteer for something, they're right there.
You know, I saw on your website, April, with the membership fee was $25, right?
For the year.
For the year.
For the entire year.
For the whole year.
You know, so we should have thousands of people there.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
With that kind of membership. Okay.
Yeah. We really should.
And I wanted to suggest that those who feel that they want to contribute more than the $25 membership fee, pay for somebody else. Okay. And let them become members. Okay. That adds to our numbers. And that
Great idea.
Yeah. You know, give 100, and so you're paying for 3 other people.
3 other people. That's a good idea. Okay.
And they'll be listed as a member.
And give us their names.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Because if we can get 1,000 folks contributing $25, you know, we have $25,000. You know, I mean, you just have to think that way.
Right.
And, but I think over time, we burn it in, we'll be fine, because you can feel if you pull now. Because folks are calling me at the school, that's that Miss Whittemore lady. It's like, oh, okay. So it's good. It takes time. But I think the main thing is we're having fun. And last Saturday we were at Whittemore Conway High School with the band. The weather got bad, it got windy or whatever, but we were there. We gave out applications and sent them to the website. We also have that scan code on
the QR code.
Yeah, we have the code. So there's so many ways that they can actually get in. And so that went well. They got a chance to speak to some of the students coming through with their parent. It would have been better, I guess, attended if it started raining and then, you know, announced rain. But whoever were there, we were there. So you'll see us more places like that. Just showing up and letting folks know that we're still here. Don't hold your head down because the school is down. No. This is the time now. We may end up with a billboard. You know what I mean? It's like you take the school down, we're going to go do something else that you can't take from us. So that's really kind of my emphasis when it comes to working with Whittemore. But I've enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Yep.
Well, Madam President, you're doing a fine job, especially in a restructuring year. And it takes a lot of work to do that, to actually create or to build on the foundation that's already there and make it evolve right before us, before we can even move forward to do anything. It's like you have to, create the thing, make it evolve into what you want it to be, and then move into whatever the actual effort or goal is. And that's tough to do all in one sweep. But we have come together. And done a really good job of, especially reaching people with the digital access. That's a really big part, because people are asking for that. And speaking of digital access, I do have up on the screen the call for applications for the 2023 Whittemore Alumni Scholarships. So these scholarships are open to descendants of Whittemore alumni or graduates, and there is a difference. If you are an alumni of Whittemore, it means that you came through the system whether you graduated or not. If you are a graduate, it's just that you are a graduate. Either way, if you came through the Whittemore system and your, let's say your grandmother or your parents came through the Whittemore system, then as a descendant, you are eligible for the scholarships. We've sent the information to all of the schools in Horry County. But last year we had winners who came out of Richland County, who came out of I don't know what the county is where Rock Hill is located, but like Ms. Anna said, we actually have people who came through the Whittemore system who are all over the country. They're all over the country. So if you are the descendant of a Whittemore graduate and you and your parents or your family just happen to live in Maryland or DC or Florida or wherever, you can still apply for this scholarship if you meet the other criteria. And you can find all the information about the scholarship on the website. Just go to the website and you can click on the information about the scholarships from the home page, or you can go to the scholarship page. And if you click on the purple box that says scholarship criteria, you will be able to see the criteria, the grade point average, everything that we're looking for, but also you'll be able to access the application online. So you can complete the application online and we will receive it. And, there's a couple of other steps, like including your transcripts. And there's an essay prompt, but you can do a video if you want. If you're not, a writer, some people aren't. They'd rather do video, and some people don't like, doing video. They'd rather write. So either way, we've given you a couple of options. And if you will get this information to us by April the 15th, there will be a selection committee. Typically we have a selection committee that is comprised of people who will not show any biases towards our candidates. They will be able to review the scholarship information and give us their best assessment of who we should award scholarships to this year. So if you are listening to this, please, 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 please direct students to the Whittemore site to read the scholarship criteria and to complete the application. Even if you don't have students in school, if you know parents who have students in school, tell them about it, because the last thing we want you to do is leave money on the table. Mm-hmm. And every little bit helps. Our scholarships typically a $1,000 non-renewable scholarship. We gave away 10 last year. And so imagine your student having an extra $1,000 either to support their tuition or room and board, or maybe they've already taken care of all of that and they have $1,000 that can go towards other expenses like books and meals, even clothing sometimes. I mean, there's things that students need. And so, but you won't know. It's just like a Publishers Clearinghouse. You can't win if you don't enter.
Can't win if you don't play.
That's what I say about the lottery. You can't win if you don't play. If you think you meet the criteria and you're a great candidate, you can't get a scholarship if you don't apply. So make sure you apply for the scholarships through the website. And we'll have more information later on. But, for the most part, it's been good. We were getting some good momentum. So President Annis, thank you so much for your leadership. We really do appreciate it. And
good information, man. It's good information you're spitting out there.
You guys.
Yes.
You guys really keep us out there.
Yes. All right. Well, take care. We'll see you soon. All right. So, Brother Eric, we've talked about the youth tonight and education, very important. And now we're going to shift gears for just a moment. And we're going to talk about something that, is kind of taking a turn into the medical field. A woman who's leading the charge to educate people and create awareness of breast cancer. And I think that it's all, kind of relative in a sense, because, our future doctors, oncologists, radiologists, ultrasound techs, anyone who might be working in the field where there's a diagnosis that is to be detected or a diagnosis to be given after detection, that all starts with a great college foundation. And so we just want to bring on Kim Clora. Hey, Kim, how are you? You're muted, baby. You've been waiting so patiently. How are you doing?
Good evening. How are y'all?
Thank you for waiting.
Yes.
Thank you for waiting.
No problem.
All right.
Well,
So,
I'm anxious to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely. So, Kim, you've been doing some amazing things in the area. You are the founder of the Jacqueline Rodgers Foundation. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you started the foundation.
Just to give you all a little background, I'm originally from Virginia, and I came down here in 2010. My mom passed in 2005, which is the foundation is named after her. And I wanted to do something that would honor her and the things that she enjoyed and that we enjoyed together. So the very first thing we did was a fashion show, and that money went to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And then I had a coworker that was diagnosed for the second time with breast cancer. So when we did the fashion show the following year, we gave the money to her. And then one of my girlfriends was like, well, why don't you start a foundation? And I had no idea, even think that I could do something like that. But I got to work and my husband helped me out and we started a foundation. And what we do now is make sure that all the money that we raise goes to a woman that's actually in treatment, and she can do whatever she needs to do with that money. It's not tied to her treatment at all. That's one of the biggest things that I find, that when people are given money, it is tied to their treatment. They can't even, sometimes they're not even meeting their daily needs, but they have money, but it's just tied to their treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the things that I really want people to realize when people are going through cancer treatment, or any cancer treatment for that matter, that money is usually tied to their treatment. And people are thinking the people are giving them, it's not like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very careful of when somebody is giving you money, what it is for.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, that's what we do. And we do it in many different ways. We did a head wrap workshop a couple of weeks ago. We just had a paint and sip Saturday. That was a fun event. We have the royalty that's coming up. We're going to have 3 survivors speak, and we'll have a doctor coming in and giving us breast health information as well. And you're going to get to dress up, or you can dress down. You can do a head wrap, you can do a hat, you can do a fascinator, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, and then the fashion show is coming up. And
anything to do with mammograms?
Mammograms, we're going to have that we have the mammogram truck that comes out when we do our pink ribbon event, and that's in September. They actually come out and do sliding scale mammograms, depending on which kind of insurance you have, or whether you do not have insurance at all. But yes.
Well, Kim, you are really busy, and all for a good cause. And so I know that, as I see your posts on Facebook, everybody seems to have a really good time when they're at your workshops and your events. And that's one thing that is really important, that you are able to engage people, because when they're engaged in what you're doing and they're buying into your passion, and they have a more of a willingness to support and to give. And like you said, when it comes down to the giving, and I'll even say this for our previous guests, make sure you're giving to the mission of the organization. Give to the mission of the organization, because then those funds are unrestricted, and they can use the funds the way that they need to in order to create these initiatives and, to hit their goals, to support other people. And so, Kim, you were talking about the royalty. Is this the first time you have hosted one?
This will be the 3rd year.
Okay.
This will be the 3rd year. Last year it was over at the clubhouse in my neighborhood. This year it was at the Recreational Center, Robert H. Reed Recreational Center on the old Air Force Base.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yes. So it'll be exciting.
Sounds like you're growing.
Huh?
Sounds like it's growing.
It is growing.
Yeah.
It is growing. That's the fun part, just to see different people come out. The mission change. The mission is the same, but people change. So
right,
it's enjoyable. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this the breast cancer issue is it's gotten any issue with breast cancer is big anyway, but I think it's gotten more pronounced over a few years that have been observing. I'm glad to see that you're taking it from a perspective where it doesn't have to be related. Your contributions or whatever resources you have doesn't have to be related to the illness itself, right? So again, I'll reiterate what you're saying is that whatever resources or funding that you all give to a particular victim, they can do whatever they want to do with it.
Whatever they need, because just because you've been diagnosed, your bills do not stop.
That's right.
Right. Absolutely. So what just for, I guess, for some of the viewers to know what they go through, what kind of bills other than what insurance would pay for that a breast cancer person, a person with breast cancer would have to be enduring?
It just depends on what their insurance is going to pay for. A lot of the medical treatment you think is going to pay for, it does not. I mean, like a lot of your radiation is not covered. A lot of your medicines are not covered. Is that
usually expensive? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Really? Very expensive. Very expensive. And then your bills don't stop, and sometimes you're not able to work. So you still have your bills coming in on top of your medical bills coming in, and your kids still need to eat, and they still need clothing, and life doesn't stop, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. So, how many recipients have you had over the years since you started the foundation?
We have had 8 recipients. Our biggest year was actually during the pandemic. In 21, we were able to do 2 recipients that year. We raised the money, even in the pandemic, we raised a lot more money than we raised previously when we were able to get out into the community. But when we were in lockdown like that, we were able to do it through, I made head wraps and masks, and I sold head wraps and masks through the pandemic. And that's how we made the money for that year. 21.
I'm sure the power of the internet and being able to.
Oh yeah,
everybody was virtual, so you had everybody's undivided attention, pretty much.
Everybody's undivided attention. You had,
yeah.
And we, like I said, we do. I did the blanket raffle for the blanket that you won. The
yes. I have to show that blanket. Go ahead. I'm gonna get somebody to bring it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I just picked up sewing. I knew how to sew a little bit, but now I'm a little bit better at it. But I use every resource, every talent that I have to bring in money into the foundation, and just going out and learning new things. I went to a workshop this morning and found out a few new things that I'm going to try as well. So, but it's just about.
Yeah, the location of your foundation is in Myrtle Beach, or
it is in Myrtle Beach.
In Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We are out of Myrtle Beach.
We need to get that information out.
This Myrtle Beach is what I call home now. I'm originally from Virginia, but this is home for me now. So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, which now, you know what? I forgot to ask you, Kim. Which Supreme are you?
Let's just say I might be a combination of all the 3. I don't mind shining.
Good answer.
Being in the background. So
good answer. Good answer. Yeah. So out of all the events that you've hosted, which is your favorite?
The fashion show is my favorite. Mm-hmm. Because that was something my mother really, really, really enjoyed. And the fun of putting it together, and then to see it on the runway and everybody's participating. And that is just one of the funnest events that I enjoy that one from start to end. Sometimes it can be frustrating just getting people to participate as far as getting the clothes and stuff, but from beginning to end, I enjoy every minute of that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like once the first person walks down the catwalk, it's on. It's on after that.
That energy, and then you have the recipient in the room, and it's just full of love, and it's a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for that to grow. I think that's gonna blossom.
We're gonna do a little something different this year with it too. It's gonna be a competition within the fashion show, so it's gonna be a little different.
Now that's intriguing.
Yes, I share more with y'all as soon as I get it fully developed. I'll share more information with y'all. But yes,
Brother El, keep us going. I'm going to get the blanket. Oh, never mind. Somebody's bringing it to me. Go ahead. Somebody bring it to me.
So, but because Kim, you're exerting a lot of energy. If that kind of energy is being poured into your foundation on a daily basis, I think that's just great. Okay, I like I said, I'm looking for great things for that.
Look at that.
I actually wrapped up in this last night and took me a nice nap. I don't know if you guys can see it, but look at that. It has motivational words on it. Self-determination, cooperative, collective. All this is great. Black History Month. It's it's wonderful. She was unity. There's all kinds of words all over it. And I was like, I gotta have that. So
you claimed it.
I claimed it. I said that blanket is mine. It sure did. And she did a little spin wheel thing, so it was all random, and she did it live so everybody could see, and my name came up, and I was like, whoop, let me get my blanket. Yes, I appreciate it. It is very nice. It's very nice. Very nice. Yes. Yeah. So, but it's great that you can use your creativity like that to support the foundation, and I'm sure that, help and support from the community, as with any of the other organizations, is highly needed and greatly appreciated. So how can the community continue to support you?
They can go and donate just as easy. They can come out when we're doing our events. You don't necessarily always have to go to an event, but you can help in the process of setting up an event, from either just getting sponsors, just telling people about the event. And a lot of the things that we do, because we'll be set up every third Saturday at Charlie's Place as well. So if you want to come out and support us that way, they can always do that as well. So, I mean, there's a lot to do. And with the fashion show coming up, with the Royal Tea coming up, I'm going to be skydiving in April. So
okay.
Try to raise money that way. Oh, yeah.
She's adventurous.
I did it for my 50th birthday, and my neighbor was like, would you jump with me? So I'm like, yeah, I'll jump with you too.
Wow.
We'll be raising money that way. For every mile that we go up, I'm going to try to raise a couple.
I like that. That is nice. That's really nice.
Y'all can be in the fashion show. I love to have models in the fashion show as well.
You're going to have to call on your Supremes. You have to call on Miss Annis and Janet. I know both of them. Look, Miss Annis wasn't she homecoming queen?
She was Miss Whittemore.
Miss Whittemore, and Janet used to do some modeling, so you have to call on them.
I will.
She's backstage. I can see her. She's laughing. We're gonna get you up there, Miss Annis. Yeah, but that is awesome, Kim. And so, is there anything else you'd like the community to know about, what you're doing and the impact you're making in the community and how they can help?
It's just, we're looking for recipients right now. I mean, we have a mother and daughter that we're going to be working with, but we're always looking for people that we can help. We're trying to get to a place where we can help people whenever they come to us, instead of just one time a year where we're raising money. So that's our goal, is to be able to help somebody, whether they come and say, well, can you help us with this bill, or can you help us with that bill? We want to be able to do that on a regular basis. And in order to do that, we need the community to come out and donate. And that's how we get things done.
That's right. Donate to the mission. Donate to the mission. All right. Well, Brother Edward, I know you've learned a lot tonight with our special guest. And Kim, thank you so much for all you're doing. And just like Janet Lawrence Patton said, what a great way to honor your mother and to, pay tribute to her by pouring yourself into a cause like this to help others. I'm sure she's smiling down on you and is very proud of your work. And
which means that you, Kim, are monitoring yourself very carefully. I'm just going to assume, since your mom is going to kind of runs in the family a little bit,
Yes.
Okay. And so that's just stay on top of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Stay on top of it. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great point.
Regardless of the cost. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Because there's always a resource out there. A lot of times we don't know about the resources, but there's always a resource out there.
Always resources. You can get with the the monography on people, trucks, they do it on a sliding scale. So if you have insurance or you don't have insurance, they can help you out.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. And then she can also keep making these blankets. And keep making these blankets here, because Mother Nature doesn't know what she wants to do. It's hot one day, it's cold the next, so I'm keeping my blanket close.
I know that's right.
And look, Brother Elwood, I know you like this, but you got to get your own, my brother.
I got to get my own.
You got to get your own. That's right. Maybe Kim can make you one or something.
Those motivation words on there. That's
Isn't that nice?
Thoughtful. Oh yeah, very creative.
Yeah, look at that. Very creative. She even has the word creativity on here. Look at it.
Yeah.
Creativity. I like this word, black. I like brother. You know, I love black people, black folks. We are black. Black is beautiful. Black is enough. I love black. So, but yeah, you're doing a wonderful job, Kim, and thank you so much for being on the show tonight. We really do appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you
Thanks.
too.
You do the same.
Brother, we've had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, and you know, in view of productive things happening. Okay, we're having a fun at it. The Whittemore Alumni Association. I'm glad that everybody's aware there's just a $25 membership fee.
Yes, for the year, and it comes with benefits. You got to join to find out. Yep. It comes with benefits. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know Miss Annis won't mind my telling, but you know, we have some things that only the members can get. But you got to join. You got to join to be able to. There, how they say it. There's the benefits of membership. Right. Okay. And we're developing more and more benefits along the way. That we have a whole membership committee that's working on that.
I got a feeling that this banquet is coming up. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
But there's a lot of planning behind that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be different. I believe.
And we have an events chair, Miss Shirley Jones. She's working hard on all the events, and so she's already looking for venues and, you know, a number of different things. The tailgate is going to be a lot of fun. You know, there's a lot that's coming out of it because, you know, the primary mission of the organization, we all know, is scholarships, but it's also alumni engagement. So we want to make sure that we keep the Whittemore alums and graduates close and connected. And so, you know, we have, committees who are working on both pieces, working on, you know, getting the scholarship stuff going. And then we're working on making sure that the alumni and graduates stay connected. And so, you know, that's really the overall mission. So when you give to the mission of the organization. And we really appreciate it. You know, like she says, our financial department or committee, they don't waste any time. Sherlyn DeWitt doesn't waste any time getting your letters out if you need to have your tax deductible letter and thank you for your contribution and all that. So it's coming together. It's coming together.
Sherlyn DeWitt is all the way up in Virginia doing her thing.
Doing her thing, like you saying the same. You don't have to be, you know, in Horry County, to be a part of this. And you know, there's so many people in the community who actually want to support what we're doing. So, you know, even if you don't have a direct connection to the school, but you're intrigued by the history and you want to support with your resources and your connections, come on, be a part. Come be a part of it. That's what we call unity in the community. Come be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, Brother Edward, we've had a really good time tonight. I appreciate all of our special guests, the Dupreens. I like that, the Dupreens.
Because they do a lot.
They do a lot. Yeah. So, you know, just want to thank everyone for being with us for this entire month as we celebrated Women's History Month, and we had some special guests along the way. And thank you all for tuning in every single Tuesday night at 7:00 when we are here. And we want to thank our live. And we certainly would like to thank our viewers tonight. There were a number of viewers, but of course, the ones who chimed in with comments and questions, we appreciate you always and your continued support. So, Brother Edward, that's it for me. That's it.
I guess that's it for me.
We're going to call it a night.
We're going to call it a night.
All right, then. Well, everyone take care until next week. We'll see you at 7.
God willing. We'll be back.
God willing. There you go. All right. That's all right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host, Edward McQueen and April Garner.